We're on the job for the day. We run our bypass out of the drain. Our wastewater coming down here. Got water circulating down to the dam that we've made. But as that pump is pretty strong, it doesn't let anything build up, which is good. So you got to keep the water running so it doesn't burn out. That's the biggest problem, is keeping that water running. So you're always going to have to put a tap on the concrete, let it trickle down. So alright, so I got Caleb, he's on the 5 gallon. So what I've got him doing, he's using a really large chip to clean the fences. So we did a test here. So we're going to clean the fences from that to that. So that's a pretty good before and after. So he's got a fence line up in here that he's doing. He's up there, he's pretty good. Let's have a quick zoom in. So he's working that one like mad. Alright, so he's in working hard. We've got the bypass down here set up, ready to go. I'm just going to hit this front patio deck first, and then I'll get up on the roof. We've got a second level there, but we'll be able to spray all that from that first level and not even hop up on that top level of the super pump. We'll be able to give it a good rinse. We've just got an Airbnb out the back that we have to wait for them to get out before we spray that roof, because we don't want to hit them with any chlorine on the back side there. So we're going to do all these balconies first. As you can have a look, it's a big job for the whole day. We'll be in spot for the whole day. Basically, you can see these sophites, pretty nasty. They've been copping the wind and stuff, and then all these railings will get belted as well. Yeah, we've got a pretty busy day today, so I'm trying to film as we go through the day and show you the power of these new pumps and stuff. Like, at the end of the day, it's saving you massive time in rinsing power. Like, not so much for chemicals. Anybody can put chemicals on at the same speed, that's fine. You could use a 12 volt if you wanted to for chemicals, but when you got a super pump, you got a super pump. You can even have a Super 8, have somebody racing around with chemicals, that's fine. But it's the rinsing power that is the key driver, I would imagine, that these pumps are going to drive towards. So let's have a look at this, because this is a problem that normally everybody occurs on gutters. You got that black stuff on the gutters and it's quite hard to get off. So what we've done is we've sprayed these gutters down with 0.5%, so pretty mild, but knocking off that black is the key, getting rid of the black and then coming through and hitting with the chemicals and trying to get rid of the aftermath after the black. It's a lot easier to do than the other way. So let's have a look. So up here, hang on, I'm trying to use one hand. So you got that black. You can see a section I've just done there. Knock off that lip. It's all gone. I'm even shooting at like 5-6 meters away. I'm shooting that all off the gutter. And come along this timber and give it a good soaking. And you can see those sophites come up really clean already with 0.5%. All we did is just spray it on there. Then what will come back through is just probably hit that gutter with the 1% just to tidy it up. Because I don't want to spray too much chemical around, as I don't like to. Because honestly, if I can get away with using less chemical, I'm more happier with that. Like, I'll go through and pre-rinse the building at the moment with the super pump and knock all that down and then come through and hit it with chemical. So I'm using less chemical, less time to clean the house, I'm already pre-soaking the house because I'm wetting down all the vegetation, wetting down all the fences that shouldn't be getting wet, and then I'm just coming through and just spot spraying. You know, we're just spot spraying all those black sections, knocking them off with the super pump, and then coming through and hitting with chemical, and we're getting optimal results. And it's saving us a ton of time. We don't have to pull up a broom, we don't have to scrub it, and we're getting the results that we need, quicker, faster, more efficient. Basically, we finished up here. What we've done is from that corner all the way outside, inside of all these sat screens, all the way over to there, all the bottom. So I've done basically one whole side of the house. Everything's rinsed out nice, washed out. Caleb's doing an awesome job on those fences, just chopping them out. Getting it ready for a repaint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chuck back into chemicals. So we're just going to drop some chemical on the stairs here, clean those grout lines. We'll let that soak in. What we want to do is we've got to knock that guttering up the top there. Should be able to hit that off pretty easy. But now that he's out of this corner, we're going to smash in that 2.5 story wall. We're just going to soak it up. We'll probably put heavy soap on it because it's the southern side of the house. So it's just getting hammered. So as you can see there, it's just covered in stuff. So we're going to hit it from the ground here, soak it all up, and just get that off. That's pretty nasty. Then we'll just soak in this side, get the outside of that screen. You can probably see it. Yeah, just there. Outside of that screen, we'll get all that while we go. And then once we've done all that, we'll head up on the roof, knock out the front side of the roof, and then that'll be good. Now we're back in this corner. We hit all this with 3%. So as you can see, all those railings have come up nice. Powder coater is always easy to come off. These rendered walls, not so much. There's a little bit up the top there, coming off the roof. And there's a little bit just streaking down there, so we might have to hit that, or just wait for it to dry out and hit it again with another mix. But you know, that's a 3% mix, so we're down in here, so we're like half a level, second level, just, you know, nearly 3.5 stories, and on that back corner you can only just, like, you can see the black mold just on the back corner there. We've got just on that corner there. We'll have to get out the back to get the rest of it, but you can see the power of the super pump, because I've basically done most of that wall tucked down in here, and then get all those fascia rolls on the top there, and smacking all that off there. Like even that's just come off there. I just waited a little bit for it to soak in. We just rinse that. This part here, so just waiting for it to come down and soak up and get a bit softer is the key, I suppose, because we just about got all that off. There's a little bit of staining there, but I don't think we'll get the staining off. But we cleaned up the majority of it, which is all we want. Now we're just throwing a bit of water over the back there, just any plants, grass. Probably clean the concrete at the same time. There's grass out the back there, so we'll just wet everything down out the back there. Keep everything wet. The rest of it we'll get from the back, but probably a couple of bits that we'll have to tidy up around the back of the wall here and whatnot, but working out really well. So we're just up on the roof here. We've got that roof to do there, so we're going to get the platform later. We're going to shoot that whole roof from down here. We could put the platform there and walk up on the roof if we wanted to, but we'll shoot it from all this first level. We'll blow out all these gutters with the super pump first, get rid of all this crap that's laying around. I'll have to go down and grab my sunnies and get a little palm fig down in there. And then it gets worse as we get around the back. So we just clean this roof in parts. The great thing about the remote control unit is I can sit up here on the roof and change it, flush, back to chemicals, and clean parts of the roof all in one hit without even hopping down. So I can spray around the back there and then spray that bottom of the roof there, come back and rinse there, rinse here, come back and clean this section. So I can do a lot of things up on the roof. So, and then one thing again, like we can clean these walls, we can chuck it back down to 3% and clean the walls at the same time. So we can flush everything with 6% around here and come back, hit this with a 3, hit this with a 6, and go like that all the way around. And then we even got the retainer wall that we clean as well, so we can change that back to a 2% once we finish flushing the roof and hit that and let that soak in. Because then what we can do there is we can bump up the soap and just let it run down the wall and let it work in. By the time we get out the back there, that's going to be up and running. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to flush out some gutters first. We'll chop all this up with the weeds and stuff, so right down on the next roof. And we'll put it in the flush. Get in there, flush out. The roots get caught up on things. Got that fig tree down there that will blast out. Alright, so we just finished all the roof section, all the tops. All this nice and clean now. Rinsed out, rinsed all the gutters out. All nice and clean. Started doing a bit of the retainer wall, but we'll jump down. We'll have to go top up the soap. Probably have to hit that with a stronger mix, but we'll get into that later. All this across here is all clean down here, so really good result. Didn't overly like pulling up 2.5 stories, 3 stories, but you know, that's probably, the pump's not designed to be up in the air, like high up in the air. So I could have parked the truck up the top here and saved myself one level, but it still was still strong enough to knock all the lichen off the roof and get rid of all the black. So you felt a little drop, but that little drop spike could be the fact that the batteries aren't lithium as well. So I've noticed once we get down that that drop spike is not there anymore because everything's down on ground level. So there could be multiple reasons why that happened, but we are 2 levels up at the moment. So let's just call it as that. So yeah, like I was saying, up on the roof, we come down, the batteries were sitting on 21, so they were depleted like mad. We've been running for 4 hours. Number one, we haven't got our solar hooked up, so that's so we've got the truck running at the moment, which is charging, and then you know, we're back to full power. So number one reason what happened there, you read that, but that's for a single bank. This is a double bank, so as soon as we turn this pump off, I'm back in here, 25. So we're empty on chemical, and we've just got the back section of the house to do. So we're gonna drop out, have lunch, get some chemical. We've just finished all the fencing, so gonna move the truck out the back anyway, and get some stuff sorted, and then we'll jump on the 8 gallon and do all the concrete. So Nice and easy. Pumped it so we can wind that up. How good does this fence look? How good does this fence look? My God, look at it. $1 million, mate. Pretty sick. Okay, so let's just do a recap on yesterday because it's tomorrow today. We got hung up on trying to get Caleb's truck sorted as we went over to make sure all the remote control systems and the super pump and everything was getting mounted in the right place, because we had to build a flat panel area for all that to be mounted, and the shop didn't quite know where to put it. So we went down and sorted all that out and said we want that there, that there, that there. And then realized the irrigation shop down the road is closed down because of staff shortages. So we had to drive all the way over to Nambour. So we had to quickly finish the job that we were on, shoot over there, grab some braided clear hose, and get that all ready so it could start getting plumbed up, so the truck can get finished. But we'll show you that in another video. We'll be down that way today dropping the truck off because it's got to get registered from the trucking company, and then we'll be dropping it back off because we got to get it plumbed up ready so we can take it Thursday night to get wired up. So there's a fair bit involved in building a truck this size that people don't realize. But when I've already built one, Caleb come to me and asked me if I could help with it. I said, yeah, that's no problems. So he's jumped in my truck all this week to help me out, so we could get extra time on that. So, which is, you know, a trade for services, and he's going to be a great member in my team, whether he's doing his own thing and we join together on much bigger jobs. Having two big trucks rock up, it's going to be way quicker and crazier to knock out jobs and just turn over more money at the end of the year, because he's young, he's hungry, I'm hungry, I'm a bit old, but I'm still hungry for money, and we got goals that we want to hit, and it's going to work out well. It's going to be a good partnership, so we got that coming. So recap on yesterday. We got a 24 volt, 20 amp charger, DCD charger, put on the battery bank, which is not enough amps running back to the battery by the time I drive home. So I'm trying to run this as I'm learning everything, so you guys can learn at the same time what you exactly need to run the super pump and the battery systems. Because if I don't do this and I just tell somebody, go get some lithiums, put solar on the roof, do this, do that, they're going to be like, well, why am I spending all this money? And then I can go back to them and say, hey, watch this video series, and then you'll fully understand why you need this setup. So what we're doing is we're going into the shop on Thursday. It's still good now. I've just got to run the truck a little bit just to get the batteries topped up to where we're using it. Because what you got to remember is the batteries are probably fine if I'm doing 3 to 4 jobs a day, because then I'm driving between jobs and I'm moving. This week alone, when I hooked up the super pump, we are stationary on individual jobs for the next 3 days. Like, we got big body corporates, like 9 units, and then we got that big house, roof and driveway yesterday, so that was all day on one job. And then today we're on a block of 4 units. We're doing the roof, houses and driveway again. So like we're on these jobs that are like a complete top to toe clean, and I haven't got the solar hooked up yet. So if I had the solar hooked up, that would probably be more than enough to trickle feed the batteries and keep them topped up. So that's our next
goal is to get that hooked up, which is getting done Thursday night. Is we get the solar hooked up, so then it's trickle feeding for the day, and then when I'm driving between jobs, it's charging for the truck. Another plan is to get a 50 amp charger, which is more expensive than the one I got, to charge quicker while I'm driving, and pull a bit more off the solar panels through the day as well. So the two things that we got to do to assess that situation, which we want to do before we go down, like I'm gonna do it eventually, but I want to completely exhaust all my avenues before I go to lithium batteries. I got no problems buying the lithium batteries and just whacking it in and setting it up. That's fine. I've got no problems with that. But I'm trying to document and make videos to show you if deep cycle is going to work, what you need to make it work, and whether you want to do it or not. Because at the end of the day, deep cycle batteries, if you deplete that battery down to 50%, you're going to lose power in your motor. So it comes down to, if you're traveling between jobs, if you're doing massive commercial jobs, you're going to need a lithium straight away. Like there's no playing around anymore. And that's just the fact that you're in one location all day. So if you're not charging off solar, then you're going to need the lithium power, so you can take your batteries all the way down to 10%. I think there's a cutoff at 6% on a lithium battery, but you got like power all the way down. So and like you'll see from the first video we launched yesterday, like we run that motor 5 hours straight. We were like, Caleb was on it and then I was on it. Caleb was on it, then I was on it. Just like we run the piss out of that all day. And then yesterday it was clean the roof. We had the hose 3 stories up on the back roof. It was pulling all the way up the top there. Still had power. Like, we're testing this to the max. Like, I'm booking more and more jobs every day, and I'm probably going a little bit cheaper on my jobs, but I'm trying to stack this month to something like crazy, so I can show you like it can handle a $40,000 month, or it can handle a $50,000 month. If the pump is only going to be $3.5 grand for you guys, then you'll make that back in 1 month. Like, just like sheer profit. Even if you're at a 40% profit margin on $40,000, that's 16 grand. You're going to make that back in 1 month just for one pump. You could be buying a pump every month if you really wanted to. But a lot of people are worried about the price and stuff, but you got to go through and work out the price of what it's costing you to run your gas system. Like, you got daily running costs, you got fuel, so what are you, $30 a day, $20 a day, depends how long you're running it for. You got the service cost, like changing the oil or something, $100 a month. You're at nearly $5-6 grand a year if you just set up like the battery and the charging systems on your truck, whacking the super pump for $3.5 grand. You know, you're going to be set. You know, you got no running costs until that pump dies, and then you can either change the heads out or you can just whack in a new pump. But that's what happened yesterday. Just a recap of, we used 260 liters of chlorine for that whole job, which is about what I expected, because we did the roof and we had really black mold around the house and stuff like that. We did the shipping container, we did the massive retainer wall at the back. So we did a fair bit of area. So even with the super pump alone, I don't feel like I'm using more chlorine. because I'm using more soap. I'm using more soap to help me with the climbing, which is fine. I got no problem with that. But we're not using excessive soap, and we're not using more soap than I normally use, because I normally use a lot of soap. So that's just what we're finding out. See what we're up to today. We're doing a 4-unit complex today. Roofs, houses, and driveway. So let's see what that gets to. We've got a couple other jobs banked, so we can jump on the end of the day with those ones as well. So let's see what we get into. Catch you later.